He's got a formidable opponent on the other side of the ring looking for exactly the same outcome. We have a terrific contest in prospect. Final check of the equipment by our referee. He'll now call both boxers to center ring to issue the final instructions. Yasar Çınar of Turkey is the third man in the ring. And we are underway, 67-kilogram welterweight semi-final action between boxers from Japan and Kazakhstan. It's an all-southpaw affair at present, although both boxers capable of switching if they choose to. Both of them natural southpaws, and the man in red, well, he's executing his modus operandi to perfection. This is what he does. He's got terrifically quick feet and can go from beyond punching range into punching range in a flash. And in the meantime, no punches come back. And that is how he has won his 4 previous contests to date. And he also has that idiosyncratic tick of celebrating every success that he enjoys. And they're often singles without reply like that. Then the hand will be raised, then he'll sneer the gum shield, then he'll give his opponent a wink. He might even blow them a kiss, but all of that takes time off the clock. Meanwhile, even though the boxer on the other side is keeping a phlegmatic expression, not bringing myself into this, but if they're anything like me, they must be combusting on the inside, but they have to keep their task. You see Okazawa doing it again, looking to get under the skin and into the mind of the opponent, and that is Ablaikhan Zhussupov, who comes forward with a good right jab, left cross to the body. And this is shaping up to be a terrific affair, and Zhussupov doing a good job of trying to work away and prevent Okazawa from just dominating the tempo at this distance. He is such a clever boxer, skipping around the boxing ring, and such is his speed of foot. See, he's celebrating that there, even though it barely ruffled the material of his opponent's jersey. May have been a scoring shot, as Zhussupov backing his man to a corner, but again, the good foot speed and the quick hands of Okazawa, scoring with a right jab to the body. Minute to go in this opening round. Okazawa, one of the poster boys for the Olympic Games in Tokyo earlier this summer, ended up being eliminated as, again, he uses the space of the ring effectively, but was eliminated in the second preliminary round by the eventual champ, Roniel Iglesias, who, having conceded the first round and picked up a warning, used work rates and angles to get the better of Okazawa, but at this type of distance and territory, he is very, very difficult to beat. And Zhussupov has got to be careful that he doesn't follow the man around the ring here. There he scored with a good right jab to the head. But again, it's Okazawa who is just scoring and pecking and poking with that lead right to the body to pile up the points. Now, it's not aggressive boxing by any stretch of the imagination, as Zhussupov ends that entanglement with a good southpaw left. But again, there's a shot without reply. Sometimes judges will prefer the boxer who appears to be making the contest. But Okazawa, he's not running because he's punctuating his circumnavigation of the ring enough with single scoring shots like a fencer, and that's why the man is so difficult to beat.
Well, it's very, very effective work from him, definitely for the first 2 minutes of that round. Not dissimilar in style to his teammate Suboy. He comes in from the outside, looks for that jab to the body, and he does execute that well. But I thought Zhussupov came back into that towards the end of the round there and did land some decent blows in the final minute, and we've got some split scoring there. 3 in favour of Okazawa, 2 in favour of Zhussupov. I think that brings into play what you just said right at the end of the round, which is that the judges do sometimes favour, and we mentioned it in our previous fight, the fighter coming forward. Now, Zhussupov is the one looking to come forward. He did get hold of Okazawa a bit better in that final minute, and that was enough to get it with 2 of the judges. I think that's quite telling for the rest of the fight, or at least could be. Okazawa, if he's going to skirt around the edge and duck in with the raiding missions, has got to significantly outland him.
So into the second round we go then. Zhussupov scores with a right jab to the body to begin this second 3-minute stanza. And again, he's being encouraged by his vocal contingent here. Kazakhstan, and his front foot pressure is preventing Okazawa from darting in, because the man's in red Because the man in red has his back near the ropes, there's nowhere for him to escape to once he tries to step forward, because the man in blue is already in his wheelhouse, in his punching range. So Zhussupov trying to close the gap and keep the man near the corner. Look at that infuriating, illegal tactic from Okazawa. Long bridging with that right hand, can't keep it out there, of course, but the man using the skills that he has as he brings the left hand into good defensive position to block the shot from Zhussupov. Now it's physical on the inside, and it's one man working away, and Okazawa content to concede body shots. He came back with hooks to the head, but a good portion of the round for the man in blue. Okazawa now back in the space of center ring, and right on cue scores with another thrusting right jab to the body. Zhussupov backs him up to the rope with his feet once again and digs in a hard southpaw left before taking his man down with a move from the octagon of MMA. Approaching the midpoint of the second round. The first one edged by Okazawa on a 3-2 split, but Zhussupov has done a much better job of taking center ring and driving his man back to the ropes. And again, Okazawa conceding body shots on the inside, and not only will they slow down his terrifically quick feet, they are scoring punches, which will make an impact in the mind of the judges. Just over a minute to go in the second round. Far more positive display as the heads come together on the forward raiding mission by Okazawa. Trying to get back to the space of the ring again, but he's not being given any space as a straight shot scored by Zhussupov, and then he worked away to the body as well. And on the flip side, given how much we've been regaling the clever boxing that Okazawa can do in the space of the ring, when he has to do something different, well, what's the other side of his game like at world level? He's continuing to celebrate his successes, but make no mistake, he's being touched up to the body as he lands to the head. Front foot pressure maintained in a two-phase attack by Zhussupov. And again, the cries of Kazakhstan, Kazakhstan ringing around the arena here. Nice lateral movement by Okazawa to change direction in a flash. And again, Zhussupov scoring to the body, digging away with that free right hand just above the belt line. 10-second clapper sounds, although it's barely audible here at the Stark Arena. Okazawa in the space of the ring takes a two-shot salvo to the body, then a terrific right jab to make it first and third boxing, in addition to the straight shot scored by Okazawa. For my money, I think the man in blue took that round, but what say the scoring judges? The man in blue did a terrific job closing the gap, upping the tempo, and I think he got the better of Okazawa, but we'll see how the judges score it.
Agreed. I think that's a Zhussupov round, personally. I think he tracked his man down well. It's a difficult job to do against someone like Okazawa. He got on top of him at times, and I thought he worked more effectively. So we've got split scoring there. We've got 3 scores in favour of Zhussupov, 3 10-9s for him, 2 10-9s for Okazawa. And what that means is that we've got 1 card apiece, 20 points to 18, and the other 3 are level at 19-19. So this is level. It's on the fence, it's on a knife edge, it's whichever way you would like to describe it. I think Zhussupov, we know he's a good fighter. He's been a good fighter for a really long time, ever since the youths with the Youth Worlds and the Olympics and all the rest of it. All in the balance, all in the balance.
It has all come down to a 3-minute shootout in the 67-kilogram welterweight semi-final, because the man in blue, Ablaikhan Zhussupov, boxed a terrific second round, closing the gap as he's doing here, backing Okazawa into confined spaces in the boxing ring, just reducing the amount of territory on the canvas that the Japanese boxer has to work with. And again, he's celebrating his successes and embellishing them by raising that right glove, is Okazawa. And truth be told, for the first 30 seconds of this final round, he has scored singles, often without reply. Now, can Zhussupov get back to the front foot pressure that served him so well? He had to take a few risks and work away to the body, as he's doing here on the inside. Slapping right hook lands by the man in red, and then a scoring right jab to the body once again, as he's able to increase and expand the distance between himself and his opponent. And that's an eye-catching single that he walked Zhussupov onto. Minute gone, and it's been a solid minute produced by Okazawa. Zhussupov trying to get back into the contest, but again, look at the quick footwork and cries from the Japanese corner. I'm surprised that the technical delegate or the referee hasn't had a word with the coaches on the Japanese corner, because they, along with Okazawa, who appears to have been boxing without a mouthpiece for a while, as we've got an accidental clash of heads which has resulted in a nasty cut beneath the right eye of Zhussupov. So in the event that this injury causes the bout to be stopped, we will go to the scorecards, and the portion of the final round that has been completed will be scored. Now remember, 3 tied scores, 19 points apiece. One scorecard, 2018 in favor of Okazawa, the other one, 2018 in favor of Zhussupov. But all of the momentum that Zhussupov established in the second round, for my money, has been not conceded, but taken back by Okazawa with his familiar pattern of scoring without reply by operating in the space of the boxing ring. Zhussupov trying to quicken his feet and closing the gap. But again, that contemptuous sneer, half grin, half smirk etched onto the face of Okazawa. But look at the work to the body by the man in red. Slapping shots upstairs landed by Okazawa just before the disengagement. Good right jab on the resumption by Zhussupov. Man I saw for the first time when he claimed Youth Olympic gold back in Nanjing 2014. I was ringside for that tournament, and the man's talent has been apparent since that classification of boxing. He's transitioned magnificently through to the senior ranks. The 24-year-old has guaranteed himself his 3rd World Championship bronze, but in his quest to go better, well, he's got to have a big final 40 seconds of this round here, because it was up for grabs going into the 3rd and final round, as Okazawa shakes his head and says no, that didn't catch me. And look at how he's going walkabout, increasing the gap between the man who must have to close the distance, having been put on the wrong end of a very good first half of the round, practically 2/3 of the round by Okazawa. Now Okazawa engaging in running here, got on his back foot, increased the distance, walked away from his opponent. Zhussupov driving a shot to the body, scoring right hand without reply again from Okazawa. Lands with a slapping right hook, scores with the right hand to the body. Exchange of shots with Okazawa's back near the ropes. A terrific contest. Both men think that they have done enough, but my goodness, let's remind you of the scorecards as they stood with 3 minutes to go. 3 cards were at 19 points apiece, 2018 each way in favor of Okazawa and Zhussupov. For what it's worth, I think Okazawa had the better final round. How do you see it, Andy?
I think he did just about do enough, but it's not going to be by much. It's not going to be by much, because Zhussupov did land some blows, particularly towards the end there. I do think the judges favour the man who's looking to be more aggressive.
And he landed the heavier punches with his shoe shine shots to the body. Which way is this one going to go? Nervous moments. Here's the verdict. And it's Okazawa. Okazawa absolutely exultant at having been declared a split decision victor over Ablaikhan Zhussupov of Kazakhstan. He takes it on a 4-1 split. A message for all of his supporters at home, and a man who was the poster boy for Tokyo 2020, where he was eliminated before the medal stages, will contest championship gold here on the World Championship stage.